Hey everyone, this is Video Game Love here, and we have another Game Boy related video. But this time, I'm not going to show off like all my modded Game Boys for like the 15,000th time. I just want to do this video because I've actually been thinking about this myself. Which Game Boy, which modded Game Boy, is my favorite one to play with? For like Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance. You know, I have all these Game Boys, and it's like, well, shoot, which one do I like to play the most? So, let's start off with the red DMG. This is the one, oh, let me turn that on. This is the one with the extremely bright backlit screen. It's an IPS. And the screen on this is just incredible. Now this one I did not mod. This I just bought on the Mercari for about $110. So really cool, obviously, and it's so comfortable in my hands. The D-pad is amazing. The buttons feel great. Everything about this red Game Boy is just beautiful, and I really like this one. Alright, now we have, this is the one that I just did the shell swap. Here it is right here. Now, unfortunately, I'm getting a little concerned with this one. I believe that the glue that's in the shell lens, in the, the lens, and the screen is starting to wear off. So the screen is having a hard time staying in position and staying in place. So I gotta be very careful with this. If anything, worst case scenario, I'll just have to get another Atomic Purple Game Boy Color shell. But this is the one I did the shell swap. It's the same screen as the Kiwi one, but it's very bright, as you can see. Really nice. And it's just really nice to play with. Absolutely love playing this playing this. So, love this a lot. We'll get to that. We'll get to which one do I prefer. Lastly, when it comes to the Game Boy and Game Boy Color, we have the teal one. And this one's in immaculate shape. Oh, I forgot I have a game on it. I guess I'll just use Solar Striker then. Sorry about that. There we go. Same screen, a little bit positioned better. The only problem is the D-pad is not as good as the Atomic Purple one. I try my best to kind of fix it up and still kind of giving me a little bit the same results. But it works very well. So, as far as like the Game Boy and the Game Boy Colors go, this is how I see it. I'll just set the Game Boy Advance aside. Of the three, I like to play the DMG the most. It's just, the screen is much better, and it's just way more comfortable. Now for Game Boy Color, I'm going to go with the Atomic Purple because the D-pad is better and it just feels a lot nicer. I mainly have the teal as like a nostalgia item because this was the Game Boy Color I grew up with. So as far as like the ranking goes, it'll be DMG, Atomic Purple, and the teal. Now I'm going to get to the Game Boy Advance. So, this is the modded Game Boy Advance that I did a couple weeks ago, or a month ago. I freaking love this thing so much. It's so comfortable. I'll just do a quick run. It's just, the screen on this is so bright. I love it. Just looks so good. And the form factor. As with the SP, I'm not gonna lie. While the SP is very good, this is the one that my very first mod I ever did. I'm not a fan of the form factor now. It's like once I went to the original Game Boy Advance, I kind of just don't want to go back to the SP, you know. But this is still like the very first one that I ever modded. So if I have to pick a Game Boy Advance, obviously I'm going to go with the modded Atomic Pink Game Boy Advance. So, like, if I have to choose, like, the most played, Game Boy, Original, the DMG. Color, the purple, and for Game Boy Advance, the Atomic Pink Game Boy Advance. So, just wanted to yet again show off my Game Boys, but mainly it was, which one do I prefer the most? And I would say, we're talking about all of them, this bad boy right here. This is like the Game Boy Advance. The absolute buy-all, be-all Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance. Because I can play everything in this very comfortable Atomic Pink shell. So, anyways, guys, take it easy. Video Game Over 58, sign out. Peace.